What if I told you that most people are losing $50,000 without even realizing it? It's a silent drain on your hard-earned wealth that needs to stop today. Think about your savings like a leaky bucket. You keep pouring money in, but there's a hidden hole that's slowly letting your future value slip away into nothingness. That $50,000 mistake isn't just a number. It's years of your life. But don't worry, I'm going to show you exactly how to patch that leak right now. Hey there, Ives Chris Harper. After years as a corporate analyst, I've seen how the pros handle money, and I want to bring those secrets home to you. Today, we're tackling a big one. Why saving money is not the same as growing it. It's a shift in perspective that changes everything for your financial future. Before we dive into the math, hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps me share these financial tips with more people who need to hear them. We've been told since we were kids that saving every penny is the smartest move. But in today's world, that old-school advice might actually be hurting you. Look at these numbers. Your bank might give you 1%, but the market average is 7%. That gap is where your wealth goes to hide, or where it grows. It's called inflation. If things cost 3% more every year, your money has to grow just to keep up. Otherwise, your future basket looks pretty empty. Here is the cold, hard math. If your bank pays 1%, but inflation is 3%, you're actually losing 2% of your buying power every single year. This is tip-mistakic. Keeping too much cash on the sidelines isn't safe. It's a guaranteed way to lose value over the long haul. Let's change that. You're at a crossroads. One path is comfortable but leads nowhere. The other takes a bit more effort, but builds a bridge to the life you actually want. And don't feel bad. This hits everyone. I've seen high-earning doctors and engineers make this exact same error because they were never taught how money really works. Right now, the average savings rate is near 0, while inflation is climbing. That gap is a real loss that's eating your retirement savings every day. To show you what this looks like in the real world, let's compare two people, Alex and Ben. Their choices today will lead to very different futures. Let's start with Alex. Alex plays it safe, putting $500 a month into a traditional savings account, earning just 1% interest. It feels secure, right? Then there's Ben. Ben invests that same $500 a month into a diversified portfolio, aiming for a 7% average annual return. Same effort, different strategy. 10 years in, the gap appears. Alex has $63,000, but Ben has $87,000. That's a $24,000 difference already starting to bloom. At 20 years, the divergence is massive. Alex reaches $132,000, while Ben's balance has soared to $261,000. The gap is now 6 figures. After 30 years, Alex has $209,000. But Ben, he's sitting on over $500,000. That's a staggering $358,000 difference. See that? The $50,000 mistake I mentioned starts much earlier than you think. Within that first decade, the cost of waiting or staying safe is already compounding. Even small changes matter. Saving $5,000 a year for 35 years at 4% gets you nearly $400,000. At 6%, you're looking at over $500,000. This is the engine of compound interest. While the 1% line stays flat and discouraged, the 7% line takes flight, creating a massive orange canyon of lost wealth. The most important variable isn't how much you start with. When you start. Every day you wait is a day you lose that exponential growth. Time is your greatest asset. So, if the math is so clear, why do so many of us fall into this trap? It usually comes down to 3 very human psychological hurdles we all face. First is the fear of loss. We're wired to protect what we have, making market volatility feel like a personal threat rather than a natural part of the growth process. Second is complexity. The financial world can feel like a tangled mess of jargon and confusing options, leading to analysis paralysis, where we simply do nothing at all. Finally, there's the lack of urgency. Retirement feels like a lifetime away. So we prioritize today's comforts over a future self that feels like a complete stranger. These three leaks, fear, complexity, and a lack of urgency, slowly drain your potential wealth, leaving your future self with far less than they deserve. Enough with the problems. Let's talk solutions. I've broken down 5 simple steps to plug those leaks and get your money working as hard as you do. Let's dive in. Step 1. Find your actual interest rate. Log into your bank app, look past the balance, and find that APY number. Most people are shocked by how low it is. Step 2. Do the math. Subtract inflation from your bank's rate. If you're earning 1% and inflation is 3%, you're losing 2% of your purchasing power every year. Step 3. Split your money. Use a T-card for short-term needs like rent or emergencies and long-term goals like retirement. Only the long-term stuff belongs in the market. Step 4. Start small. You don't need thousands to begin. Even $50 a month, invested consistently, builds a massive habit that pays off decades down the line. Step 5. Automate it. Set a recurring transfer from your paycheck to your investment account. When it happens automatically, you don't have to rely on willpower to save. Keep it simple. You don't need to pick individual stocks. Broad index funds are diversified, low cost, and historically one of the best ways to grow wealth over time. Meet Sarah and Mike. Both are 25, both save $400 a month. They have the exact same starting point, but they choose very different paths for their futures. Sarah sticks to a traditional savings account at 1.5%. Mike chooses a diversified investment portfolio averaging 7%. It seems like a small choice now, but just wait. At 65, Sarah has $300,000. Mike has over $1 million. That's a $750,000 difference just for changing where the money lives. Now, a quick reality check. Saving accounts still matter. You need that liquid cash for emergencies and short-term goals. We aren't abandoning savings. We're just being smarter with the rest. The goal is intentionality. Think of it as 2 buckets, one for safety and one for growth. Once your safety bucket is full, every extra dollar should go toward growth. To recap, know your rate, calculate your real return, shift your long-term money, and automate the process. These 4 moves change your entire financial trajectory starting today. If this helped you see your money differently, hit that like button and subscribe. And tell me in the comments, what's the interest rate on your main savings account right now?